We'll talk about that.
It's quite poor. Good evening, YouTube.
Good evening.
It's the Ian and Jay show. If you've not seen this before, amongst other things on this channel, we actually do reviews predominantly of Edinburgh Fringe Festival, and but we have done the odd review of that there London, which we are now tatting. And a couple of weeks ago, we were invited to review a show that had run in the 2022 Edinburgh Fringe. It was a sold-out show, it was a Fringe first winner, and it's called This Is Memorial Device.
We are now approaching Airdrie. Please mind the gap when alighting from this train.
I'm doing it to stand up for Airdrie. I'm doing it because later on everyone went off and became social workers or did courses on how to teach English as a foreign language or got a job in Greg's. Well, not everyone. Some people died or disappeared or went into seclusion more like. I'm doing it because for a moment when everything seemed impossible, everybody was doing everything. Reading, listening, writing, creating, sticking up posters, taking notes, rehearsing in dark, windowless rooms at 2 p.m. Like the future was just up ahead, and we better be ready for it. And now, already, it's the rotten past, isn't it? That's why I'm doing this, if you want to know the truth.
Based on a book by David Keenan, and it's a cult novel. Apparently, I've not heard of the book. I do actually want to read the book anyway. So we were invited. Tonight was press night at the fantastic Riverside Studios, which we've never been before. Back in the day, the Top of the Pops was filmed there, and lots of other things like Ready Steady Go. They've completely revamped the place. It's got 3 studio venues, it's a film theatre, it's got a cafe, it's got a restaurant.
Great.
We ate there, it was fantastic. The place is great. So if you don't go and see this there, go and see something else because the place is great. It's right by the Riverside, isn't it?
Yeah.
So this is Memorial Device. So it's the fictitious history of the 1980s Airdrie mystery folk punk legends. It is a glorious hallucinatory journey back to the hopes and dreams of early adulthood, performed by Paul Higgins. Now, Paul Higgins was in the thick of it, which we didn't watch.
No.
He was in Slow Horses, which we did watch, and it's got music by Stephen Pastels from the Scottish band The Pastels, and it's about an hour and a quarter. It was a packed house. It was press night. So we don't want to give too much away in terms of what we would say is go see it really, because it'd be very easy for us to give away some of what was going on.
Yeah, which I think would be unfair.
Yeah, we know it's a one-man show, but there are other people on screen, and there's multimedia involved as well. What did you think?
I thought it was terrific. It really is a tour de force performance by Paul Higgins.
Fantastic.
And I just loved his delivery. There was lots of funny lines,
yeah.
And people laughed. He delivered them brilliantly. Those lines, they were sort of. And it's a really interesting narrative. So I want to be careful how we say this. What's actually on stage is really interesting.
Mm.
There's loads for you to look at.
I've actually taken some photographs. We've got press back photographs, and I'll include some of those. But I will actually include the photographs. Before the show started, I don't like to take anything while the show's, unless we ask, and we didn't do that. But I did do a photograph of actually, and I'll show that.
So you could spend good 10-15 minutes before the show started looking at everything, working it out, and thinking, well, that's a strange thing, you know, that fits because it's about a band, etc., etc. But how some of that is used is great. I mean, it really is part of the narrative.
It is, yeah.
And it makes sense, but I don't want to...
We don't want to give any...
No, because it's part of, you know, the everything, how it develops.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah, no, go on.
I was going to say, I thought Paul's performance was absolutely breathtaking. I absolutely loved it, and being a musician, I related to a good percentage of what he was saying about the 1980s, having lived through it. But his performance, and the way, I actually liked the way he came out and started talking to us.
Yeah.
And I wasn't, for the first few seconds, I wasn't sure whether the show had actually started or not. And I won't tell you whether it was or not.
It was very natural.
It was very natural.
And it's, so the flow of the evening, so towards I suppose most of the humour is in the first sort of half.
Yeah, I would say so, yeah.
And then it gets serious, it gets a bit darker.
It gets a bit trippy.
It gets very trippy. And there was just a moment where I felt the level dropped very, very, just momentarily. And then it picks up again. And I found myself feeling quite emotional, actually.
Yeah.
And by the end, I felt really quite affected by it, which I wasn't expecting. And you feel it's his character is trying all the way through the evenings, trying to explain
about the band,
yeah. And why, you know, what it was about the band.
Yeah.
And I felt, for me personally, I mean, I know they're fictitious and all of that, but by the end you think, yeah, I get it, and I actually really feel quite moved. And I really wasn't expecting that. And what I never like to come out of something and feel, okay, I saw something. This, it did affect me, and I was really surprised. And I like a performance, a production that makes you think and does affect you, so that you feel you've seen something, you've had an experience. Certainly,
we certainly had an experience. I did think that some of the references to Airdrie I didn't get, because they were very Scottish. There were only a few of them, but they were very Scottish.
That was the point.
Yeah, I know.
That was the point, and that's what
and
was
other
funny.
people, obviously, there was quite a lot of Scottish people in the audience anyway, and they were laughing at those parts because they got it, because they're probably know the area well.
Yeah. I didn't think that. I thought it was funny.
Well, it's just my opinion, darling.
Yeah. I know.
So there is an album. There's the Memorial Device soundtrack by Stephen Pascal and Gavin Thornson. It's on vinyl, CD and online. So it's worth. I'm going to have a listen to that. And obviously there is the book. Which I would really like to read.
Right. Well, it's been on since the 23rd of April.
Yeah. So we're on the 26th now. So it's been on for 3 days.
Yeah, and it's on till the 11th of May. So plenty of time to go and see it.
We'll get this review out over the weekend. So it's Riverside Studios. Where is the Riverside Studios exactly? What's the address? It doesn't tell us.
Well, it's you get to it if you get off the Hammersmith Tube.
Yeah.
It's a few minutes walk from
walk past the Apollo. It's literally a 5-minute walk from his place.
If that.
Yeah. Anything else?
No, I don't think so. No, but great.
How many stars?
I think I'm going to give it a 5.
I'll go 5.2 actually. I thought it was really, really good. It's a fantastic piece of work. Yeah.
No.
Go see it. It's brilliant. And what I don't know is, and I will ask, and I'll put it in the comments down below. I don't know if it's going to Edinburgh this year.
No.
So I'll find that out and stick it on down below, because if it's going to Edinburgh, which is it's 99 days away to Edinburgh Fringe, and we will be there doing this. It's definitely worth seeing.
Yeah.
Go and see if you can get to London, or you live local, because it's absolutely brilliant. So 5-star review, brilliant piece of work.
Excellent, yes.
Okay, we'll see you again soon. Thanks so much for watching.
Okay,
Cheers now.
bye. Bye.